DIY or Die, Walker Vapor Group LLC, or any of its associates do not condone nor encourage the use of nicotine, vapor products, or any mood-altering substances without the explicit consent of a physician. The content viewable on this channel is strictly for entertainment purposes only and not meant to be seen as informational or educational. Must be 21 years or older to view these materials.
Silky beat. Hey, what is up, mixers? Welcome back to another glorious episode of the MIXINVIXENS. I'm Emily, also known as mlNikon, and please join me in welcoming my other co-hosts, Rin and Jennifer Winstead. How you girls doing?
Hi.
Fantastic.
Hey, it is another awesome Sunday. Did you guys have a good weekend?
I did.
What did you do?
I ended up on a mission. Somebody asked me to make them another painting. So that's always a terrible idea whenever I start that, because I can't stop it. I was supposed to go visit my daughter today and earlier this morning, but by 10 o'clock I wasn't done. And since, art is kind of like one of those things that could be like a mission, or what do you call it, an obsession, so I couldn't leave the painting. It wasn't finished. So
yeah.
I text my daughter. I said, I'm sorry, honey, I can't go. I'll see you next weekend. She's coming here next weekend, so it's fine.
Okay.
But I finished it.
But once you start a painting, you can't stop until it's completely done.
I can't think of anything else. It's like my brain won't let me do anything else. And, since it's got layers and you have to wait between each layer for it to dry, I thought last night that I was going to be dry enough this morning to just put a couple of finishing touches and roll out. But it's intricate because it's got a lot of little dots. It's sun. And for the flares, it was a lot of little dots. So there was no way that I could rush through that. I would have ruined the whole thing.
Okay.
But it's done.
How was your weekend, Ren?
It was good. Yesterday we were supposed to go bowling, but there was no open lanes, so we just had dinner, which was weird because it's like only been the second time I've eaten out since everything. But I spent time with my dad. It's his birthday today, so
nice.
We played racing games together. It was nice.
Oh, happy birthday to your dad. It's Lumi's birthday too. That's why she's not here today. So Lumi, if you watch this replay, happy birthday.
You know what these March babies are? They're first summer vacation babies. It's when parents got kind of excited in the summer and ended up with very first getaway in the summer, ended up with a baby in March.
Yep.
And September babies are those Christmas babies. I mean, it's two of the most popular months to have kids.
Yeah. My weekend was pretty good. It was pretty chill. I did go on a hike on Friday afternoon. That was fun. I'm glad the weather's getting a little better so I can get out there again and do that. But the rest of the weekend was just very low-key, chill, didn't really do anything, just hung out.
I've spent a bunch of time in the vaping groups answering questions. My God, we're having an influx of new mixers, of people that think, with these vape delivery bands, that they can jump into DIY, sadly to find out real quick that nicotine is also affected. So they're freaking out.
Yeah.
Having to break the bad news to them. It's not safe here either.
Yep. Sorry, Charlie.
You better get your nicotine. They're like, what did I get? I'm like, nicotine.
But welcome to DIY. Start with one shots, but you're gonna have a tough time getting nicotine.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. I've been saying buy some nicotine, and then we'll worry about the flavors later. I got one shots to get you by.
Yeah, one shots are the best for newbies, because they're easy. They're already good recipes. You just Then you can start tweaking and adding flavors and whatnot.
Yeah, because flavors will be fine, but they
Yeah.
need to get their nicotine now.
Yep, get your nicotine. All right. Well, as you guys can see, the flavor profile this week, James picked it, I think. It was submitted by Ken Pabon. I don't know.
Pabon.
Sorry. Pabon.
In Pabon.
Pabon.
And I'm very grateful for this recipe.
Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed working on it, and you can't get every single element, but I got a lot of them in there. It was a lot of fun to work on. Did you guys enjoy mixing this up?
I enjoyed the hell out of it. I enjoyed it so much I ended up making more because I made myself a 10 mil and I vaped it. Surprisingly, I have not really enjoyed cereal style vapes in a long time and I haven't really wanted it. But I mean, once you started playing with this, it became like, oh man, yeah, I remember liking this a lot.
Yeah, I hadn't done cereals in a long time either, and I wish I mixed up. I only did 15 mils, and I'm like, man, I should have made a bigger bottle. In fact, I might after the show mix up a bigger bottle of it because I'm really enjoying it. I'm like, yeah, that's right, cereals are awesome. The only thing is, I wish, and Frank, if you're watching, listen to this. I wish that there would be a regular plain Captain Crunch flavor.
There used to be, there might still be if in Flavor West. It's just not, it didn't sell well in the DIY community. So it's still in Flavor West. And I remember vaguely Dave used to say it tasted like mushrooms. But I used
No, that's Flavor Crunch.
Okay.
That's
Well,
Flavor Crunch cereal.
I used to enjoy Flavor West Captain Crunch, and I had some, and I didn't use it on purpose because it's not available at Bull City. I looked around, I didn't see it anywhere else. I was like, let me not use it.
Like, I'm not gonna scour too hard to find something for this. What about you, Ren? Did you enjoy playing around with this profile?
Not really.
No, you know,
I mean,
it was bag.
It's a lot, and
Yeah.
we were talking a little bit before the show, and it's like I was really kind of focusing mainly on one area, thinking, because I mean, if you try to incorporate every single thing in the picture, it's going to be a mess. There's just no way to do it, in my opinion. So I was going to focus on the like little strawberry shortcake thing, and then I was reading in the Facebook group, and I was like, I don't feel like they're gonna be very receptive if I just do that. They're gonna be like, oh, you're copying out, whatever. So it's like, okay, I gotta add a little something extra to make it interesting.
If you try to include everything, I feel like you're just gonna have one big muddled mess.
Yeah.
So you gotta pick and choose the elements that you want to shine, and then leave the rest to what is that, like
the imagination.
Yeah, the imagination, or basically, or like power of suggestion, because you give someone a flavor and you say, hey, it's this, this, and this, but you're missing one of the elements, your mind's gonna fill in that gap, like.
Yeah, I called mine Captain Strawberry Shortcake for that element of let your imagination take over.
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, what's good about the picture is you can kind of zone in on different areas of it. It's like, okay, well, I can do these, or I can do these. So it gives you a lot of options to do. But I just didn't realize that I had like barely any cereal flavors left because they had all gone bad or just were horrible. So I threw them out. So I was kind of like last minute trying to figure something out to make it interesting. So
I used a flavor that I hadn't used in forever. In fact, didn't ever think I was going to use it because I remember testing it for No Date, and I'm like, this is not a good flavor. Like, I'm never going to use this. And so when I was mixing it up, I'm like, oh, let's try a version with it, whatever. Like, and it works really well in the mix. So I'm glad that I used it, and I never would have used it before. So I guess since I'm sort of already talking about my mix, I'll go first this week.
Okay, sounds good.
So I focused on the ice cream the syrup and the cereal. I kind of ignored the ice cream bar, like shortcake part, because it kind of kind of works. It kind of gets incorporated. But for the ice cream, I use SSA ice cream vanilla at 3%. It's pretty high for this flavor, but with everything else going on, I wanted it to be. I didn't want it to get drowned out, and I wanted to. It's a really good ice cream. It's thick and rich and like kind of buttery. Like it's a good ice cream. It's heavy, you know. And then for the I did a raspberry syrup, and James was giving me crap earlier for not doing strawberry. I'm like, everyone does strawberry. Like I'm gonna do raspberry, but I did a combination of 2% SSA raspberry syrup with 1% TFA raspberry. Not sweet, guys, just TFA raspberry to kind of brighten it up and give it a little bit more of like a candy kind of pop to it, because SSA raspberry syrup is really good, but it's a very deep and like bassy flavor. So I wanted it a little bit more pop, a little bit of brightness to it. And then for the cereal, because I couldn't find any, which says TFA has one, I couldn't find any regular Captain Crunch cereal. I actually did one-on-one honey puffs at 2%, mixed with 1%, just 1% of Flavor West Fruity Flakes. And Fruity Flakes is the one that I swore that I would never use, because when I single flavor tested it, it was really pledgy, you know, it was really and kind of harsh and just like not pleasant. But in a mix, the lemon is there, I mean, to sell you on the Fruity Pebbles there. Like it's a good Fruity Pebbles kind of type, like lemon flavor.
It'll also die down some.
What's that?
The pledgy taste will also die down some,
It did, yeah. And with everything mixed in, and with the ice cream, the heavy ice cream and stuff, I didn't really get pledginess, and there was no harshness there either. So yeah, it turned out really good, really tasty, and it's authentic enough for me to the picture.
Can you taste the raspberry as well?
Yeah.
Is it more like an ice cream, or is it more, can you get the crunchiness from the cereal?
Yeah, like I think part of that astringent or harshness from the Fruity Flakes is like transfers into like a crispness, you know. But I definitely get that ice cream and the raspberry too. So
nice. And you know, straight up cereal vapes are kind of hard, so making it with all those creams and creaming it up is the way to go. How prominent is the vanilla in that vanilla ice cream in the mix? Because I know what it's like.
Yeah, it's there. I think just to kind of like, it doesn't stand out or anything, but it's a nice addition to the raspberry. It blends in really nicely. Like it's good, but it's not like, because sometimes depending on what fruit flavors you use, like you don't really want a lot of vanilla in it, you know. But like it works really well with this.
And most white ice creams are of vanilla, so it's authentic.
Exactly. Yeah, the SSA vanilla, it's like a homemade vanilla ice cream. It's not like a soft serve kind of like, it's, you know, it has some depth to it, but I like it. I really like it.
Cool.
All right.
You want to go next, Rin?
Sure. So I focused on, well, I'll just explain it and we'll go from there. So I used Berry Crunch cereal by TFA at 1.25 for the majority of like the cereal notes. The Berry Crunch cereal is mainly like the Captain Crunch all berries or whatever, I'm guessing is what it's supposed to be. Then I added ice cream, or that's supposed to be vanilla ice cream by SSA at 0.5%, and vanilla ice cream Wonder Flavors at 0.5%. This was mentioned in Noted, I think this last week. Dave ID10T has like a trinity of different flavors he uses to make like the perfect ice cream. I didn't use vanilla swirl, which is the other flavor. I just like these together. I think they fill each other out nicely. And then I used peanut butter by SSA at only 1/4% because Captain Crunch has like a peanut butter version, and I didn't really have like a straight up Captain Crunch cereal type flavor that I wanted to use. So I figured I could at least do that to give like another cereal element to it. Plus I figured if anything, it would pair nicely with like the fruity to be kind of like a peanut butter and jelly essence type thing. So I figured they would pair nicely together. I used raspberry syrup by SSA at 0.5% in coordination with strawberry cheesecake from Wonder Flavors at 1.5% to make that little popsicle strawberry shortcake bar thingy. I added the raspberry to enhance the strawberry because I've been having issues tasting strawberry for a while now. And if you look at the picture, the actual like base of it looks like it's got some kind of syrup in it. So I figured for those two reasons, it would go nicely in there. I would probably vape this before a week because after steeping it longer than that, it got worse for whatever reason. I think it just maybe muddled too much together after that point. But if you vape it within like a day up to a week, it should be fine. I just didn't care for it after sitting. That's it.
That's really interesting. I never would have thought of the putting peanut butter in. I guess I didn't see peanut butter, but SSA peanut butter is the one I would use for sure.
Yeah, but the Captain Crunch, like I said, they have a peanut butter. So like
yeah, they do. It's the best one.
Yeah. So I figured, you know, if I don't have like a straight up Captain Crunch flavor that I feel like it would go well in here, I might as well just use that. Give it a little something. Plus, if you have like a sundae or whatever, you know, a lot of times there are peanuts in it. Like when I used to work at an ice cream shop, we had this really awesome, I don't know what it was, but it was like a combination of like crushed up peanuts and like other like crunch, like candies in it or something. It was just called Crunch, and it was amazing. So it's kind of like got that vibe going for it, but yeah. Cool. It's all right. It's not my favorite mix of this month, but it's not bad.
Well, you tried incorporating everything, and that was pretty good. That took some work.
Well, the only thing I didn't really get was the Fruity Pebbles. And I'm like, I could try to like force it in there by putting like orange or lemon and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, at that point, it's just going to bury other flavors. Right. And just too much.
Now it's interesting that you use SSA raspberry syrup too, but only at 0.5%. Now, I mean, obviously I know that your palate is a little more sensitive than mine, but does that raspberry come through for you pretty good?
Mainly, like I said, it's because I can't taste strawberry very well. So kind of like you can, if you're really searching for it, you can taste it. But for me, it's to make the strawberry more present.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Without it, it was kind of getting lost for me. That's one thing. I forget who recommended doing that, like adding raspberry to strawberry to get it to like, you know, be able to taste it.
That. I mean, I know it's an old trick, and you know, people have done that for a while.
I do that all the time. I use about 0.25 raspberry to boost any strawberry.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime I make a strawberry, there's going to be a little bit of raspberry in there, especially if it's a natural strawberry. You know what I mean? If it's just a strawberry without the creams and stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how did you like doing that combo of the two ice creams?
I liked it. I mean, I still haven't really found, I feel, the perfect ice cream, you know, and one thing you guys, I don't know if you purposefully ignored me, but I kept asking, like, why are you guys looking for butter notes in ice cream? When I'm eating ice cream, I don't taste butter. So why are you looking for butter?
I don't know. I just like TFA and Liquid Barn and SSA ice cream vanilla. I just really enjoy the rich buttery notes that are in there. And you're right, ice cream doesn't, you know, you don't think of it tasting like butter, but I just like it.
Some ice creams do when they're like Breyers, I think, has a butter note to it, but I don't look for butter in my vanilla ice creams.
I was just wondering because like it almost seemed like it was like a negative against the flavor if it didn't have a butter note. I'm
Yeah,
like,
right?
well, it's not really
Sometimes
supposed
not
to.
though. Just like a leather note in tobaccos.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but I mean, for that reason, like because I personally don't like the buttery note in a lot of things, and that's why I avoid certain flavors because I just don't like the taste of it in a vape. So for me, I struggle to find a good ice cream because it's like, while the butter note I don't feel is necessary, it does help with like the richness factor, which you do get in like an ice cream in real life. And it's hard to get that richness without some kind of buttery, because it's like, what do you do? It's with
how do you
creams.
thicken it up without it?
Yeah, because I mean, it's
Right.
fat. Like all it is ice cream is just like, a bunch of like cream and stuff. So I don't know. Ice cream is not something I go out of my way to do. And if I do vape it, it's usually like a fruit. Like it's just a straight up fruit with a bunch of cream in it. So, but I do like, I hadn't tried the Wonder Flavors vanilla ice cream until Dave mentioned it, because him and I do seem to have a somewhat similar palate. I feel like he gets more off notes than I do, but I don't know. He seems like he almost likes the off notes sometimes. But the way he described it, it sounded like something that I would like. He said, if you don't like the buttery note type thing, then you might like that flavor. And I do think that it's good for that. And while the SSA does have like that little bit of buttery whatever, I feel like if you use it low enough and then pair it with something else that's maybe not as rich, it kind of has a nice effect to it, because it kind of tones it down a little bit. And then I had all the other stuff going on in there, so that helped too. But yeah, I do like those flavors together. I did another recipe I'm working on, just sideline recipe with the vanilla swirl as well. And I'm not sure. I think I would have to like do that Trinity by itself to see like what I really think of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but it works in this mix.
And I saw that Trinity today on all the flavors. I think I'm going to mix that up just to check it out myself.
Yeah, it's definitely not bad. I'll give it that. I can taste it through the other stuff I had going on, and it's not bad. It's just I need to know what it tastes like by itself to really give a opinion on it.
Gotcha.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. It looks really good. I think I would enjoy the hell out of this mix. All right.
I think that Friction is saying I gave him the wrong link.
I was just gonna say, like, last but not least, we got Jennifer up, but Friction doesn't have the right link, so stand by, please.
Send it to him again. And I don't know how that's not my mix, because I did this same thing a minute ago. Let me know if that's it. If not, I'll screenshot it and send it to you. What?
Epic fail.
Hey, we can't be talking to James on the show. No one else can hear. No one else can hear James.
All right. Nobody else can hear James except.
All right. Well, while they're figuring that out, I did order some one-on-ones. So I got the Fruity Flakes they have.
Oh yeah.
Because I figured I don't have any Fruity Pebbles, so I need at least one, even if it's crappy, just to have. And
have you tried it yet?
I haven't actually got it. I just ordered it.
Oh, okay.
And then
one-on-one's funny because like it's a mixed bag. If you're gonna get a flavor, it either is gonna really suck or it's gonna be really good. Like you just don't know. And I don't remember on No Day when we did cereals what they thought of Fruity Flakes. I want to say that they thought it was awful. Ooh.
Well, I guess we'll find out. And then they have a Captain Cereal vape. We're talking about the Captain Crunch, which is I think what this is supposed to be. So I'll have that coming.
Yeah. Cool.
And then Strawberry Jam, which people were raving about.
Oh, Strawberry Jam is bomb.
Yeah.
Strawberry Jam from where? From OOO?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a nice, deep, bassy, like jammy strawberry. It's really good.
Okay. What anywhere close to Shisha Strawberry or?
It's better.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
They were
it's
raving about
jammier.
it.
Like it's it's good.
And then Wayne's like, just get it. Because, like, the shipping, for whatever reason, I was trying to buy 7 10 ml flavors from One Direct, and they wanted like $13 to ship it. I'm like, why? So then I started like removing stuff. The only thing I can think of is maybe one of the other flavors had like an alcohol base or something, so they'd have to ship it a different way. That's the only thing I could think of. But I got it down to $5 shipping, and I was like, okay, I'm okay with that.
Nice. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
But still, like, I ended up
I get
spending.
anything shipped to me, and it's like without even looking at the order, it's like boom, $15, like starting pretty much.
Well, that's Canadian. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
4 flavors for $27 is a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right, Jen, he's got it up. So.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about mine. I went with the classic TFA Berry Crunch. So I called mine Captain Crunch and Shake is what I called it, because I wanted to incorporate the crunchiness of the cereal, but I wanted the ice cream and I wanted it to have the strawberry shortcake in it as well. So I did Berry Crunch for the Fruity Pebbles stuff that you see on the outside, and I kind of feel like I added kettle corn, right? Because kettle corn was my idea.
Yeah, weird.
Captain Crunch part of it. That is it adds to a cereal note whenever you use kettle corn in a cereal mix. So just keep that in mind in the future, that kettle corn works well. And I use meringue because meringue is necessary for any cereal recipe. But then for the ice cream portion of it, I use SSA ice cream, not the vanilla ice cream. And I use a little bit of malted milk. I use SSA ice cream at, well, let me finish describing the recipe and then I'll go over percentage. Malted milk at 0.5%. And Cornish cream, because Cornish cream is a cream, and in the picture it showed some sort of fruit. I did not single flavor test it, so I'm not exactly sure how much fruit played in the party there, but that's why I added the Whereas Shisha strawberry to make up for the strawberry part, and that way I'd get the strawberry shortcake kind of in there as well. So again, let's go over it. Berry Crunch 3%, Cornish cream 2%, ice cream from SSA at 1.5%, kettle corn 0.25%, malted milk at 0.5%, meringue 1%, and Shisha strawberry. And it is freaking delicious. It tastes like a milkshake with cereal, with Fruity Pebbles cereal mixed into it with some hints of some random other cereals. But without any of that dry note that other cereals would have added to it, because I thought about Capella's cereal 27. It doesn't have those dry notes, but it has a definite crunch, and it has the butter notes from the kettle corn, and the kettle corn gives it that corn pops type of feel to it, sort of to it. And then I used malted milk mixed in with my other creams to give it that richness without adding butter. I was trying not to use buttery creams because I was going to add the kettle corn, so I didn't want to overload it in butter, but I also didn't want any vanilla.
Right. That, do you have any recipes that kind of like use kettle corn as corn pops, like and feature it?
No, but I've always used kettle corn in my cereal mixes.
Yeah, that I never would have thought of that. That's a genius idea.
Yeah, I've used kettle corn in cereals for a long time. That's a really old school thing to do. It's kettle corn and meringue together plus another cereal, because that kills the pledgy notes in which I back in the day I used to hide my recipes. Now I give them away. In Berry Crunch, that's one of the tricks that kills that pledge note in a Berry Crunch cereal.
Interesting. Now I want to create a recipe because I just want to vape a bowl of corn pops. Like that just sounds really good to me, and I have kettle corn, so I may just play around with it and try to make something.
Yeah, and use it low, anywhere between 0.25 and lower, depending on what cereal it is that you're using, because it does add the buttery note, and it also adds some airiness to it. It's weird what it does to the cereals,
Cool.
but it's good. It's weird in a good way, and it's the only use I've ever had for kettle corn.
And the Cornish cream, by the way, I didn't get any fruitiness from it at all. Like I got a little bit of a tang, but it was just kind of a thick, kind of medium type cream. It wasn't even very sweet, but there was no fruity notes to me in it.
So the normal cream that I would have used, where I used the Cornish cream, would have been sweet cream from TFA, but I didn't want to use same old, so that's why I used Cornish cream, and I used it just off tasting it off my thumb. So and I felt like it was close enough, and it wasn't too tangy, and it wasn't too creamy, and it wasn't yucky. It didn't smell like puke. So it was good. And it was sweet. So it added to the sweetness of the overall. Well, it wasn't overly sweet either to the overall sweetness, but it still needed that 1% meringue to bring it to life.
Yeah, meringue is a good trick. It's a good pro move for cereal vapes. Get that meringue in there.
Definitely a cereal vape. The strawberry is there, but it kind of buried in there. It's like swirled in there. I mean, I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I turned around and mixed a 60 mil from a 30, 30 mil, and then I mix a 60 mil and put nicotine in it. And nicotine these days is a high commodity. So if I nicked it up, it's gonna get vaped.
Nice. Sweet. All right. Well, we had plenty of people play along with us this week. Must have been a popular profile. So I'll start with Jeannie. She was first again. She's always first. Why isn't it opening? Hello. There we go. She did Vixen Strawberry Milkshake Cereal Nightmare. And she did 3% Flavor West Fruity Flakes, 1% Vape Train Milkshake Base, 2.4% one-on-one Strawberry Jam, 5% Flavor West Strawberry Shortcake, and 3.5% Vanilla Bean Ice Cream, or Vanilla Ice Cream by Liquid Barn. Now, I've never used Strawberry Shortcake by Flavor West before.
I have.
What's that like?
It's very strawberry forward. It's close to what TFA strawberry and cream is like. It doesn't have a lot of bakery notes in it whatsoever, but it's like their version of strawberry milk. It's pretty heavy on the strawberry side, but it's on a candyish note that's not like their regular strawberry. It's not a flavor that I would use as a strawberry and cream or as a strawberry and shortcake. You know what I mean? But it's pretty sweet. It probably adds plenty to the mix, and with the berry crunch, it probably goes well.
Yeah, cool. Awesome.
It's artificial, so it should go well.
Nice. And that milkshake base by Vape Train is a really good, like I like it to add malt things. It's a good mix.
I think back in the day when they were making frosted flake type mixes and they were just throwing something together to give people, they were probably mixing that strawberry shortcake and the Flavor West and Flavor West fruity flakes together, shaking it up and then sending it out to the masses.
Yeah.
Selling it for $1 a mil, $15 for a 15 ml bottle.
Sounds about right. All right. Jennifer, you want to go over slushies?
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. I was actually going to tell you I would do that. So slushy, MIXINVIXENS Ultimate Sundae. And it looks like he did Bergamot at 0.25, Berry Crunch from TFA at 1.1%, biscuit in Awera at 0.75. Fluffy white cake, Wonder Flavors, 1.5. Strawberry gummy candy,
Ooh.
Wonder Flavors, 2%. Strawberry ripe, 1%. Vanilla swirl at 2.5%, and then added the 0.5. So it looks like he did the cereal, heavy on the cereal. It looks like he tried to incorporate with that fluffy white cake, probably the strawberry shortcake. The cereal is the bergamot and berry crunch. The strawberry swirl in there, you know, swirling around in the ice cream, and just vanilla swirl as his cream, and that's all you need for a good cream for an ice cream.
Yep.
I would think that the berry crunch at 1% probably toned down with the lemon notes. It's probably subdued. It's probably on the outside, kind of like in the picture.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, it
biscuit,
looks like it.
the Innerwear biscuit probably gave it the crunchiness and the butter notes. Looks good.
Very cool. Thanks for sharing, Slushy. Looks good. All right. Next up, we have Amber K. And on ALR, she is Amber K. And she did Strawberry Crunch Cereal Creamy Treat. 0.5% Capella Cereal 27. 1.6% Wonder Flavors Crispy Wafer. 2% SSA Ice Cream Vanilla. 2% Wonder Flavors Strawberry Baked. 2% Wonder Flavors Sugar Cookie. 0.5% Capella Super Sweet. 1% Capella Sweet Strawberry. And 1% SSA Whipped Cream. This looks really interesting, leaning towards the cereal and the shortcake bar for sure. Looks really good. I completely forgot about that Wonder Flavor Sugar Cookie. I don't know if you guys have messed around with that much. It's a really good, like a shortbread, like sugar cookie type flavor. I like that.
I haven't messed with that one yet.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Very cool. And then with the sweet strawberry and the baked strawberry from Wonder Flavors. Oh, that's a nice, like syrupy with some brightness. That's good. Looks good. Amber, thank you so much. All right. Ren, you want to read Darcy's?
Yep, so she did Strawberry Crunch and Ice Cream, 3% TFA Berry Crunch Cereal, 4% TFA Strawberry Ripe, 4% Capella Sweet Strawberry, 3.5% Liquid Barn Vanilla Ice Cream, 1% Flavor West Whipped Cream, and 1.5% Yellow Cake Flavor West.
Ooh, get that yellow cake action in there for that.
Yellow cake, you can't go wrong.
That's right. With that for that strawberry shortcake bar. That's a good trick. Everyone's using that TFA Berry Crunch. I thought about it, but I'm like, no, they're not crunch berries. I'm like, it's plain Captain Crunch with Fruity Pebbles, and Fruity Pebbles is different than crunch berries.
I know, but in vaping, neither one of them translate into the real thing anyways.
True. You have a point. It's easy to take things too seriously when you're mixing.
I think that the recipe that was it Amber K that I read out, or was Slushy, wasn't it? I think that adding that bergamot was probably the closest thing you can add to make it taste more like a Fruity Pebbles.
Right. To get that, you need to get that citrus note in it. Definitely. Yeah, this looks good too, Darcy. Good job.
I feel like Berry Crunch cereal is one of the less offensive cereals, at least to me.
You're probably right.
And that's why I used it. Plus, I remember, because like everyone back in the day was trying to do the strawberry shortcake bar. I remember that was a really popular flavor to try to mix. So, and I feel like a lot of them used the Berry Crunch cereal. So that's why I used it. Plus, it's one of the few ones I actually have. So that's why I used it.
I have both. I have the one from Flavor West as well, and I think I'm pretty sure I have the one with cream. What's it called? The one from TFA that's
Fruit circles.
fruit circles and cream, or fruity something cream and milk. That's what it's called, and milk. And that's not. I don't like that one at all.
You can make it work, because like I was gonna go that route, but it turns out I don't have the flavor. But if you use it really low and just bury it with cream to get the lemon note out, that pledge, it actually can be it can be good, because I actually made a fruity pebbles for someone using that flavor and then just adding a bunch of stuff on top of it, and you can make it work. It's just you really have to bury
Make
that
it work.
lemon.
Oh, sorry. And which one is this?
The fruit circles TFA.
Yeah, I don't mind. Flavor West Fruit Circles is better in my opinion. You don't have to fight near as hard to make it work as TFA. But
I'll do Sam. Can I do Sam?
sure, do Sam. Knock yourself out.
I'll do Sam. Wow. He used Breakfast Berries Crunch DIY Flavor Shack.
Right?
Oh, I don't have that.
Yeah, me neither.
That at 5%. Use ice cream vanilla from SSA at 2%. Lemon custard SC Wonder Flavors 1%. Strawberry cheesecake Wonder Flavors at 3%. Vanilla bean ice cream TFA at 4%. This looks good. It looks like it's mostly the milkshake part and covered in some of the cereal. I mean, but 5% of that breakfast berries has got, I don't know what that's like at all, but it's got to be.
My Flavor Shack flavors, I think, are a little weaker. So I think 5% is fine, completely fine for that. And I love how he used Wonder Flavors lemon custard to bring in the citrus element to make it more of a fruity flakes or fruity pebbles. Yeah.
This looks very creamy and milkshakey. Like,
he says that he vaped or he mixed it up and then like vaped it within 12 hours. It was really good.
Cool. So it didn't need a lot of steep. I found mine needed 7 days steep. Like the whole time. It was good. It was always good, like from the get-go, but it was lemony, and the lemon dies down within the 5 days, 7 days. You get a lot more cream the longer you go.
Yeah, I was surprised. Mine actually was really decent right off the shake. I thought with that fruity flakes in there, I'm like, oh, this is gonna need a steep. But you know what? Like, it was fine like right away. So it's not something that needs a steep. Obviously, about 4 or 5 days later, it was like the better and probably like the best. But it was something that you could vape right away and be completely fine with.
In mine, I'm super sensitive to lemon notes or into citric.
Oh yeah.
So you don't have to listen to me when I say you have to steep it.
All right, I'll do Nuggy next. A soft ice cream dessert, #MB. 0.5% CFA coconut candy, 2% SSA compote cherry, 9% Capella fruit circles, 0.5% Capella super sweet, 1% Capella sweet currant, and 3% Capella vanilla bean ice cream. And it went really outside the box there with that the coconut and the sweet currant there to add some brightness. That compote cherry for that's a good like syrupy kind of cherry.
I bet you that coconut candy is to make the cream more milky.
Yeah. Yeah, because I guess it's only 0.5%, right? So it's not like a whole bunch.
And for that much fruit circles, I bet you can't hardly pick it up at all. I bet it just adds to the cream.
It just adds like that kind of rich fattiness to the ice cream.
Although I've never had fruit circles from the Silverline Uncapped. Never. So I don't know.
It's pretty weak. I don't know if I would ever use it at 9%, but I have used it like 5-6% before. It's good. It's like it's pretty spot on Fruit Loops flavor. It's pretty good. I enjoy it. Awesome. Good job. Thank you for sharing, Nuggy.
I think
Appreciate
that's
it.
my favorite part is being able to talk about flavors that we haven't used
Mhm.
when we get together and read these off. Is because sometimes our audience will use flavors that we didn't even think of, so we
I
get to
know.
talk about it.
I
And
always, there's always like one or two recipes that I end up kicking myself like, oh, why didn't I think to use that? Or I used to when I didn't have that many flavors. Before I mixed up a recipe, I would stand in front of my flavors and kind of take them all in and look at them and see, okay, what, like, but now I just have so many, I can't do that. And so I just have to kind of rely on memory and like what I've been using lately and what I have. And so a lot of times there'll be a flavor that I'll see someone else use and I'm like, oh, like that would have been good in here. I should have used that, and but it just didn't cross my mind.
I've been pulling out the obscure boxes, trying to figure out what I can use certain flavors for. But I also wanted to work with the SSA because even though I enjoy each flavor individually, I haven't used them in recipes, and I wanted to see if they were working. So far, all the creams work really well.
Yeah. They SSA's got some good flavors and they do good with their creams. They're all real like thick and rich and what I like about them is they don't really need a steep either to get thick and rich. Like they
They
pretty
come
much
that way.
they come that way, which is awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
So that's the show. So next week, Jennifer's so excited for next week. She's already got hers mixed up.
I've been vaping it for a week.
It's
2 weeks.
it's a big old gummy bear.
I got to pick that one. I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
Jennifer picked that one.
there.
And I'm kind of excited for it, because I haven't done a candy in a really long time. Normally, candy isn't my kind of cup of tea, or like the profile I go for. I go for like the butterscotches or the cakes or the custards.
I
Um,
always like to have a candy on rotation with my cream. I vape mostly cream during the day, and then at some point I get bored with it and I need something completely off the wall into left field. So it was so much fun to do something that it was not a cream. Ah.
yeah, it'll be interesting. I look forward to doing that. I hope you guys play along again.
And if anybody likes that profile, definitely come in, tune in next week. If you don't catch us live, do it on the replay because my recipe is delightful.
I like mine too.
Oh, you mixed yours
Lord.
up too?
Yep.
I gotta get on it.
Candy is what I do. Like that's generally what I'm vaping on is like fruit or candy. So at first I was mad. I was like, how am I gonna do a freaking red gummy? But I'm like, what is red? So
Well, it sounds to me like Emily, you better.
I gotta get on it. I gotta
You gotta
bring
get
my
on
A game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I have it in my my other squonker. So that's how much I like mine, that it's not even something I'm dripping or
Wow.
there. I've filled it up. And I made 120 of it.
You do the opposite of me. Normally, if there's a mix that I really, really like, it's saved for my drippers. And if it's like, man, it's okay, it will go in my tanks or squonkers or whatever,
Why? When you have to vape it all day.
Exactly, because it makes me have to go through it and not waste it. You know what I mean?
No.
So if it's like in my car or push mod or something with a tank, it's like, well, it's all I have, so I have to vape it.
Yeah, well, I drop the ones that I'm not. I put those in my car, in my glove compartment, and then whenever I'm out and about and I want something to vape, I'll just have to use that. But it's not going in my squonker, my everyday vape. I'm vaping.
It won't do it.
Enjoying my daily dose.
All right, guys. Well, what do you say we get on out of here? Unless there's something else anyone wants to add.
I want to thank the audience for watching us, for being here.
Of course.
And I want to thank the ones that are
here
here
for you, and thank you so much for watching. We do this all for you guys, and those of you who catch the replay as well. If you like what we do and you want to support us in a fun, tasty way, there's a couple places you can do that. DIYFlavorchaser.com/mixin-vixens. We have a one-shot line there. And also Flavor Jungle. We have a one-shot line there as well. If you want to check us out and throw us some love, we would super duper appreciate that. Let's thank our sponsors, Flavora and Bull City. Thank you so much. And Wayne, thank you for putting us on your podcast network. That way we can kind of get a larger audience and more people can hang out with us and have a good time. And we will see you all next week for the Big Gummy Bear
The
week.
big gummy bear.
Bye, guys.
Bye.